Hola.
Hola.
Buenos dias. Buenas noches.
So it is 2025.
2025, yes. Welcome to 2025. Our first video. We've been a bit lax with videos because we've been so busy looking at our tour company.
RiderCamTV Tours.
Is it?
I think that's what it's called. There's a .com thing, is there, after that?
Oh yeah, .com.
Okay.
Yeah. All the stuff will be down the bottom, but we have been sent by a company called Aoocci, and that is how you pronounce it. Apparently, there's loads of different pronunciations. Aoocci is how they spell it.
We had to ask them how to do that because we were going, Aoocci.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was Aoocci or Aoocci or Aoocci, but apparently it is Aoocci. That's how you pronounce it.
So this is one of those Carplay, Android Auto things that, like the Chigee.
Yeah.
There are so many of them around now. There's the Carplay, Chigee.
Yeah.
There's so many to mention, but you see
Loads.
them on Facebook now all the time. They're coming up.
Yeah, but they've sent us two versions. They've sent us the C6 series, which is a 6.25 screen, so it's really quite big.
Massive.
And then the C9 series, this isn't the Pro, this is the C9, but it's got a 5.99, so 6-inch screen. And that was one thing that lots of people said about the Chigee, wasn't it? Because I love the Chigee, and these units will probably be just as good as the Chigee.
I think so.
The Chigee, lots of people were saying about the fact that they wanted screens that were bigger, and the Carplay brought out that massive big screen, and lots of people like it. I don't really like a huge screen, purely because the screen on the bike is big. You know, you don't want another screen. But these, I think, are going to shape up to be so good. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox the C6 series and show you what we get. Unbox alongside it the C9, see what we get. And then what we're going to do is, rather than put them on the bike, we will do, so that we can do some riding and show you how they work, but so that we can show you how they work side by side and do a bit of comparison, we've got a motorbike battery that we're going to rig these up to so that we can put them side by side and see how they work.
Just going back to the Chigee thing, okay, what I wanted to, out of my Chigee was to be able to fit it. I've got the GSA 1250, was to be able to fit the Chigee above my sat-nav, which I did.
On the bar?
On the bar.
Yeah.
And it'd be great if these companies thought about that, because a lot of people have looked at it and gone, oh, that's a good idea, that.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to, it took a lot of messing about to do. So I didn't want to lose my BMW sat-nav. It's like a fallback.
It's like a command centre at the front of his bike.
But I wanted to be able to do that. So I'm still interested in doing that with something like this. But, you know, think about that, fellas, if you're looking at these videos.
Yeah.
Hey, Aoocci!
Now, you've probably seen a lot of reviews of these sorts of units. I know Ricky Vida has done some, GSD321, I think his name is, something like that. They've done good videos on them. But the stuff that they were unboxing came out of the old boxing, apparently, because they used to use black boxing. And speaking to the guy from Aoocci that sent us to them, he said, could we mention the fact that they've put them in new packaging? This is their new style packaging, which is quite funky, really.
Which is what you're interested in, isn't it?
I will always maintain, even though you out there and you think that I'm an absolute weirdo, you always buy with your eyes.
Your choice of words there, mate.
But you do, don't you? You buy with your eyes.
A question, though. Do we know where these come from?
China.
China.
They are, yeah, the Chinese company.
Do we know where, if they're able to send stuff international? I think
yeah, well, they send it all over the world. There wasn't any import duty or anything to pay.
Don't know how to get around that, but they all seem to.
No, if you don't ask, you don't know any bad answers, do you?
No.
So I've got the C9 series, which is a 5.99 screen. So if we leave that there, hopefully the camera will see that that's what we've got. Put it over that way a little bit, Mark, because then we can show what we've got. So, yeah. So
you can read what's on the back of it.
Nice graphics on the box. Look at that. Not much, but nice graphics on the box. Leading car tech solutions, Aoocci. Perhaps that's why it's Aoocci. Perhaps their company name is this one, but actually the way it gets pronounced, they've highlighted the O and the C. Aoocci. Anyway, yeah, let's get on before everybody falls asleep.
When you wake up, you won't remember this conversation, and you're back in the room.
Right, so This, firstly, you get the screen, don't you? And I'd say it's really well packaged. Now, the difference between the packaging on these and the Innovv is Innovv will cut right around them in like hard foam, won't they? Yeah. These are in just plastic trays, but it's protective. So you get your screen and you put all the wrapping down the bottom. For goodness sake. You've only got to feed a wire through a hole, Mark. Just imagine it's about to explode.
You wouldn't know what my last job was.
Right. So, unit. Let's have a look at the unit side by side. So I've got the C9.
Oh, you've got a bracket fitted already there, look.
Yeah, well, there's a really funky bracket on the back, already fitted, and it's got the dampers on there. You can see it slightly moving.
That's important.
And that, it actually feels like metal.
Looks like, we just dropped it then.
It's metal, isn't it? Looks like aluminium, perhaps?
Aluminium, yeah. Anyway.
Made of, I don't know, solid plastic, but it feels like there's bits of metal in and around. Either that or it is plastic that feels like metal. I think it's probably plastic, actually. Don't know, feels like metal.
Dunno.
But looks really quite a nice put together unit. Now yours, the C6 Pro, there's a bit of a difference in the shape, isn't there?
Well, the shape is different.
And you've got 0.26 of an inch more than I have.
There you go. Apparently that matters.
Yeah. This C9 is 5.99 inch touchscreen, and yours, the C6, is 6.25.
And it actually, well, no, it doesn't look, because you can see where the actual.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how big the screen is, because you've got the bezels sort of like, I don't know, half a centimetre around. Your bezels are a bit bigger.
Yep.
And there's nothing to see on the unit, really. You've got 2 screw holes there, which will encompass the SD and the USB-C port.
Something different about that, though. Look, it says GPS on the top.
You've got a GPS thing there, and this has got the same sort of bulge on it. But
I wonder if that means you don't have a separate GPS thing you have to have.
Well, we may well find out.
We'll find out.
So you get the unit, and then what have I got here?
You've got
Carplay screen operating instructions, which is always good. And you've got a nice card. Oh, you've got a SD card.
A what? Oh yeah, 64 gig SD card.
Yeah.
Got a bag of stuff.
Bag of stuff.
To connect it to a bar of some sort.
Right, what bag of stuff have we got? What's in here? Oh, so it's a handlebar mount with a plethora.
A plethora?
Yeah, abundance.
Overabundance.
Overabundance of little fillers. So you can see in there that there's different sizes, so for different handlebars or different bar lengths, so it will squeeze it together, so that's quite good. And there's a little nib on the bottom that goes in a hole, and the same on the top to keep them located, so that's quite cool. And then that bracket
excuse me,
goes straight onto there, so you can mount it in a multitude of angles on your handlebars. It's quite cool.
I've got all this stuff out here now. Look, so here's something that this comes with. Obviously, these are the mounting bits. Just get those out. Oh God, they'll be everywhere. But other deities are available. So that's for handlebar mounting.
Yeah, and you've got your swivel mount. This is the standard sort of swivel mounts. Really,
yeah, they're a bit.
Yeah, what else have you got then?
A bit flimsy.
Oh.
I would say that's a screen cover for when it gets a bit sunny, however that works. Does it just clip on?
Well, it's got holes in the top, so there's probably screws.
Oh, there's screws there, look, so you get a sun visor.
No sun visor on the 9.
Oh.
Hopefully it'll still work.
You get the...
So you get a button on there, don't you?
Yeah.
But there's no button on the C9. Ooh. That's weird. You would expect there to be.
This is a handlebar controller, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which has camera, Wi-Fi, telephone.
Yeah. Just gonna have a look at these cables and see which. So you've got rear camera, power, and front camera. Yeah, you're right.
You got the box of electrics which connects to the battery.
Yeah.
Which we shall see later, and you get camera cables because I'll put this down here.
Look at that though. The box for connecting the C9, now it's a smaller screen, is completely different to the waterproof power box you get for the C6.
Oh yeah?
Much more wires for the C6 rather than the C9, but there you get your wires.
Get your wires, you get your cameras, which are, if I'm looking at this camera here now, and I would say that's probably the same as a Chigee camera. They're all pretty much a muchness, aren't they? A camera's a camera, you know, and they're all being built in the same place.
I'd say that's exactly the same, but...
Oh, this is slightly different, but that looks like the Chigee one.
This is exactly the same as the Chigee camera. Whether or not it is the same, I don't know, but certainly the housing looks exactly the same. It hasn't obviously got Chigee written on it, but it hasn't got Aoocci written on it either. The connections seem to be really, really standard. You can't get them wrong. They're
screwing.
They are colour-coded of sorts, but you can only put them in the right way because there's so many pins in there for so many holes. And there's like a little nib at the top, so you've got to work your way around to then work out where it goes, and then it just screws in.
And crucially, you've got the little blob on the top so you can centre it, make sure it's upright.
Well, I've got a little arrow on the top.
You're amazing. You have.
Yeah.
Put that back there. These are metal cased cameras as well, aren't they?
Yours are. These are, well, I don't know, feel that. Does that feel like plastic?
Well, that does. This one's metal, definitely.
But the ones that we've had with Chigee have been worked a treat and haven't had a problem.
Well, our only comparison at the moment is the Chigee one, isn't it? So
yeah.
We did put the Carplay ride on. I didn't get on with it, but you know.
Well, the Carplay ride is a really good unit. It's I would say it's a bit of a budget unit in the way that it feels that it's made, but it still works.
Yep.
But where they're coming from, other than these, is that they're making the ones specifically for BMW cradles, aren't they? So you haven't got to change things. And I think Chigee started that, didn't they?
Yeah.
So the front camera for the C9 is exactly the same.
See, the camera connections for the C6 are all in bits. It's the same thing. All they've done is put it together. And
yeah.
Here it is. You get tie wraps, you get sticky pads, you get bolts, nuts, and all the rest of it.
Yeah. I got bolts. I got little tiny screwdriver, spanner, Allen keys, and another mount. Another almost like a GoPro mount, but I'm not sure what you would do with it. Because it looks like it's a proprietary mount.
Take it off one of these now.
Oh, wow.
So you can
yes, it will.
Fit it to something, couldn't you?
That's really good, because the one thing that I found with Chigee and the other makes of cameras and stuff is that their brackets are so difficult to put on bikes. That's something else that you can use, isn't it? How cool. So,
and
oh yeah.
Look at these.
Oh yes, I did get one.
Did you get? I didn't get instructions, but
No.
I did somewhere.
A branded TFT professional TF card. It's an SD card, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. To go into the unit, and then
Tire pressure monitoring.
tire pressure monitoring, and I got some as well. These are the same then.
Look it, don't they?
Yeah, exactly the same. You've got A and B, and I've got A and B, so presumably A will be for the front and B will be for the back.
You know, I've also got an extra set.
Wow.
So you get 4.
Well, we might have got 4 in there because they might have made a mistake and put an extra
Well,
one in.
there are
mightn't
4 in here, so if you've got a quad bike,
they?
awesome.
Yeah. Or a car.
Or a car, yeah.
Because, you know, these days, if you've got an older car, is there really an issue with putting this in your car? It still goes in the same way. It's difficult to fit, isn't it? But
so that's it. Interesting about that is so big.
yeah, where's that so small?
Yeah.
So, features. I'm going to read it off the box because there's so many different ones. So the C9 series that we've got, 5.99 inch touchscreen. And I was trying to work out why these cameras are exactly the same and the connections are exactly the same. And what I mean by that is there's no colour coding or back or front, because on the Chigee and all the other cameras it's got back and front. Because this is a dual 1080p front and rear system.
Which a lot of 1080p at the front and 720 on the back, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that's why you have to have different.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people are saying, well, why haven't we got 4K this, 4K that?
Do you need it?
To be honest, the quality of these cameras, the same as the Chigee, are good enough to be able to record something that goes wrong, whether it's your fault or somebody else's fault. 4K is the standard. Why aren't they doing 4K? But I guess for the price point of these, you know, you're talking 150, 160 quid, £200, something like that.
Yeah.
All the details will be down below. The reason we don't really know the price is because they change so much, don't they?
Excuse me.
Both units are CarPlay and Android Auto, so you can use it with your Apple or your Android. Now, there's a lot of discussion online about these sort of things, about, oh, what apps can I use with it? I can't get this app to work. I think what you've got to do is, if you go for one of these sort of things, you have to fundamentally understand that this is a stupid, dumb piece of equipment. And I don't mean that in a nasty way. There's lots of tech in there. But all this does is replicates the app that you have on your phone, like mirroring it. So if you've got Apple CarPlay, if Mark made an app for...
Excuse me.
If Mark made an app for an Apple phone and made it compatible with Apple CarPlay, then it would show up on here. If you made it an app for an Android phone...
That would be an amazing thing if I made an app to do anything.
But my point being is that lots of people are saying this is rubbish, these apps don't work, but it's not these things that make the apps work. It's the app developers that make the apps to work with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So when you got over that, I mean, you can use TomTom if you want. Funnily enough, Garmin don't make a map app like Scenic or TomTom that you can actually use on here at all, or that you can use on your phone, which I think they're missing a trick.
Yeah.
But I use My Route app, Scenic, Waze, Google Maps, Apple Maps. There's loads of them out there, and it works.
Never got on with Waze.
Oh, I really like it.
You can't add GPX files to Waze, can you?
No, but just pottering around, it's really good at telling you whether you're in a speed limit zone or when you're, especially when we were doing the Scotland iron butt, on one of the roads, it's constant, isn't it? It's like one average speed zone, leave it, then you're in another one, and the Waze was brilliant. Yeah. But it will do your phone, all your connections, all of your music, everything else anyway. So you can split screen this as well, apparently. So I think you can split screen the camera and all the stuff that you've got on there. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi for your phone, and helmet connectivity. GPS navigation, they're saying GPS navigation now. It's interesting yours has got GPS on it. Whether or not it supports GPS if you've got no signal on your phone, and most of these units really don't, because they rely on your phone providing the GPS location. SD card support, loop and audio recording, so it's like a dash cam, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Screen mirroring, obviously, because that's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's IP67 waterproof, which is brilliant. Yours has got an emergency recording thing, which is this button.
There.
Presumably this one just records all the time, and you can have tyre pressures and temperature monitors only, and it says here C9 max only. We had to get technical.
So before we get technical, we were sent these were outside the box, weren't they?
Yeah.
But this is the mounting bracket, a RAM mount for the back of the C6, so that fits on there. So it's got a RAM thing, and it's got like a RAM mount, Dewberry. Is that a word?
Dewberry sounds good to me, yeah. So we wanted to make sure that we were telling you the right stuff. So Mark, on his side, has got the C6 Pro, and on my side, I've got the C9 Max. So the C9 Max, we've gone through many of the features, but just wanted to have a look at the other features that are on here. So we've got live tyre pressure and temperature monitoring, which comes from the monitors, which is really good, and you connect them up to it. The split view, you can split maps or Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, whatever you're using, with the camera, which is really, really good. They say simultaneously view your favourite navigation apps and the road ahead. Ooh, that's good, isn't it? I'd rather be looking at the road. Brilliant display, anti-glare apparently on this one. And it auto-links, it seamlessly links to your phone once it's all set up. Built to last, all of that gubbins. And we'll put all the information and the links and things to the video in the description. And I just wanted to have a look at the C6 Pro so that we could look at those. And of course, websites are, I just want to go to it. C6 Pro, the differences between are bigger screen, smaller screen, which is strange because it's a bit higher number and a lower number, C6, C9, which you'd think the C9 would be the better one.
You would.
Although it says on the box, dual 1080p front and rear cameras, on their website it says that you can have 1080p and 720 on the back, 30 frames per second, 1920 by 1080p.
But there's no difference in...
No, 40-degree wide, 140-degree wide angle rear view for clear coverage, they say. Loop recording, and you can lock them as well because you've got your button there that you can lock your recordings. So the C6 Pro has built-in GPS for navigation and route tracking. It records your path and provides a detailed journey data.
Ooh.
How cool is that?
That's very cool.
Bluetooth and Wi-Fi for easy transfer, easy installation, and they show the RAM mount on yours. And interestingly enough, if you have a look at the Allen keys that you've got in there, they are all what they're calling this anti-theft protection.
Oh, so
they're like a little star with a little nipple
like a
in
Torx
it.
with a nipple in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah. Got your tyre pressure monitoring, and you've got your wired control for easy operation. How cool.
Very cool.
So what we're going to do is, rather than go and fit them to the bike straight away, because we will be fitting them to the bike so that we can give you an idea of how they behave, what we wanted to do was get them rigged up side by side to show you the differences on the screen. So we've got a battery there, so we're going to connect them up really crudely in front of you, keep them separate obviously, and then show you what they're like side by side. So you can have a look and see how good the screens are, how quick they work, how quick they connect.
This will be a first for us, won't it?
It will be. Yeah. We don't usually record tech, do we? So we'll be back in a minute. Right, so what we've done is we've rigged them up.
We have.
Now this is really technical. The C9 Pro Max, yeah, or the C9 Max, sorry, and the C6 Pro, they're both there. Well, I'm going to come round that way, Mark.
You are.
All the wires are going all the way back to our really, really crudely operated
It's like
battery.
a snake's wedding.
So what I'm going to do is try and put you here so that we can show you how they work. Right, so in front of you, you can see the C9 Max, Pro Max, C9 Max and the C6 Pro on the right-hand side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to connect both of them at the same time to show you how quickly they start up. Are you ready?
Well, I am.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, look at that! RiderCamTV Tours.
Oh, look at that.
That's pretty cool.
So they start up, they come up to the screen, you get, so that was yours, wasn't it? The C6 Pro started before the C9.
Yeah.
But if you have a look at the screens, now we've never done this before, so you'll have to tell us whether it's any good. If you can hold that like that, Mark. Like that, no, like that.
Yep, like that.
Right, so we've got, bend it that way. That's it. So there's no reflection on the screen. So they start up and they look really nice, actually. Wow. I think that screen, the one on the C6 Pro, looks a bit clearer, doesn't it? The C9 here, it looks clear, but the definition of that screen is really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've got more stuff on this. You've got replay. It's obviously got your recording up there and recording up here as well. So let's have a look. So we haven't got the tyre pressure monitors connected because you have to be able to put them on a working tyre to be able to get them to work. But we've seen those sort of things work before, and we'll show you when we connect them on the bike. So when you tap that, nothing happens. So drive and record. Let's have a look at this first. So we have got the cameras. Now the cameras at the moment one there, and one there. Now, they're obviously only pointing at stuff. It's really strange to get them to stay in the same place, but it's only because the wires are so new and they're still bendy. But the cameras, if they'll ever sit there, sorry about this.
As long as there's a picture, that's fine.
Yeah, so we've got a picture on there. It's going to have to be on its side. But actually, they're quite good definition, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really, I mean, you can pick up the writing on there, look, quite simply. You know, whether or not they would be good for number plates, but they're not going to be any worse than any others, are they?
No, that's fine.
So what about yours?
Where are they?
So let's hit that one first. You've
Oh,
got
who's that good-looking bloke?
your back tyre's low.
Wow, it's really low. In actual fact, it's about 30 metres away.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got one camera there and one camera there.
So if we can just hold it so it doesn't...
Yeah. So you got your camera there. Yeah. And your other one.
Oh.
I think they're quite good definition, really.
I think they're really good.
And you have got the plastic thing stuck on the edges still, the film on top of the
I
cameras.
like to leave them on there.
So your front tyre's low.
Oh,
as well.
no.
So on these two, we've got basically the same information. My time's at the top, the time at the C6 is down at the right. You've got your kilometres per hour there as well. No kilometres per hour here. But presumably you can go and take a snapshot, lock it, so you can lock it or unlock it, turn the microphone on and off, but there is no microphone that I've seen. There might be a microphone around here. Let's unlock that, turn that off. So you can flip to one camera to the other and then have both of them. So how did you get to there?
I've no idea. I pressed it and don't know how to get back.
Press your home button.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. So you've got...
I pressed that one.
You haven't got that same button. So what does that do? Oh, so this is showing you a recording. So you've got the recordings there. Let's have a look. So you can see that the C6 Pro is a little bit faster than this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's not going to be anything on there because we've not recorded it. Oh,
We shouldn't look at any. God knows what films are on there that have come from the factory.
So you can lock them, you can bin them, you can pause them, you can have a look at the pictures as well, and you can have a look at your locked files as well, which is good.
Yeah.
And you had that on yours as well, didn't you? So let's go back to the home. So that is the drive and recorder. Now you've got different things here. So you've got brightness. You can set your brightness up and down, probably better. Your sound. So you haven't got that.
Beeping.
That's better, isn't
that
it?
would do me.
Yeah, we'll leave it on for a minute, just so when you connect it to the bike, you'll forget. Bluetooth. So you've got your Bluetooth settings in there. Nothing. This is presumably for things to connect to it. And then you've got your settings. So let's have a look at the replay. Will take me back to where we've been to replay the cameras. We've just been there. Settings. Much the same sort of settings. So I've got link show. What's that?
Who knows?
Full screen. Oh, my front tyre and back tyre is low.
Well, that's really weird because it's about 15 miles away.
Yeah. Time settings. You can set your pressures, your higher and your lower, which is really, really good. Brightness, language, time format, and there is more to it. Reset to factory. You can look at your version, format the SD card. Put a screensaver on there. What's that? Oh, you can have the screensaver either coming on 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes, or off, or touch lock. And then let's connect your phone to this one first, shall we, Mark?
Okay.
So turn on the phone, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Phone needs to manually connect the Bluetooth for the first time. So if you go into Bluetooth and then find D8 Pro, which is weird because this is a C9 Pro Max, isn't it?
D8 Pro.
Yeah, hit that one. We're just waiting for something to happen.
Oh, bless it. There you go, hang on.
Did it say connected?
Who knows? Go right to the top.
Yeah.
Connect
Press
to car.
connect to CarPlay. So I'm presuming it. So we followed those instructions on your phone, Mark, but it hasn't actually done anything on the screen, is it? When we were on the screen to connect, really quite strange that that screen, let's go back to home. So when we were on the interconnect, when we were on the, take you right through. So when we were trying to connect it, I thought it would show something on the screen, but it doesn't. Right. It just connects on your phone and then instantly comes into CarPlay, doesn't it?
So it says RiderCamTV filming.
Yeah, how cool is that? Mm-hmm. So you've got all of your maps, your phone, your messages, now playing, podcast calendars, whatever it is that you have on your CarPlay, that's what's available to you. Just Park, My Route app, WhatsApp, Scenic.
Excellent.
And then your home screen. So it works in exactly the same way as a Garmin, as a CarPlay unit like the Chigee and stuff.
Excellent.
And of course, you can go straight into the maps and do whatever you want to do. I think that's really quite cool.
Happy with that. Right, now we need to disconnect this one, don't we?
There we go.
Gone.
It's weird because it did say that it wasn't connected on your phone unless it picked up another one. So let's put that one aside for a second. So should we try this one now? Oh, so go cancel because this is trying to connect with that again. So let's see if...
You can delete it.
Yeah, let's go into the settings. Bluetooth. Remove. There is no device there, but it's... Let's turn that off a minute so it will stop that, hopefully trying to connect. So on your C6 Pro, right, interconnect.
Bluetooth, yeah.
Yep, so if you go into your Bluetooth again, and there's something MT91.
Yeah, got that.
It's strange, isn't it? You'd think it would say C6 Pro.
Yeah, it's done.
Brilliant. Okay. So, do you go back? See, it doesn't...
You get it all comes on your phone.
Oh,
Connect.
Bring it over.
You get your Connect CarPlay on there, so connect.
That's it. And then hopefully in a few seconds, this is beeped. And there we go. So again, you've got all the same features.
What's that one?
That takes you back to the home screen.
Ah, right.
So all of these units have always got an exit or return to this screen or a home screen or something on Apple CarPlay. So you've got all the apps and they're all, I think, in the same order as they were on the other one because you can kind of set them up in your phone. So if you went into your settings on your iPhone, went into CarPlay settings, selected this one, you could then move your apps around so that you had all the ones in the order that you wanted to. Mm-hmm. And you can do that per vehicle or per Apple CarPlay connection. So you've got Scenic, Spotify, Waze, WhatsApp, all the stuff you had before. And there you are again.
It's a nice big map, isn't it?
Yes, well, you can make it bigger.
I know, but it's...
And that's I suppose that's the good thing about having a bigger screen, isn't it? That you get that bigger map.
I'm concerned about my front tyre, though.
And the back tyre. I'm not sure whether I like the 6 or the 9 more. Now, when you're riding along and say you're riding along, let's put it on the recorder. You're riding along, you've got these things here. So you got looks like you've got answer telephone button.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Trying to see if
So that middle button switches between different things.
What's the icon on it? Looks like a camera.
It looks like a camera, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And this one is all about your cameras and changing your views on your camera. Yeah. And this one
doesn't do anything. It must be answering and not answering your telephone.
It has got an answer thing on there, isn't it? But don't know, I think they're quite nice. I mean, we'll play around with that, and when you're out riding on the bike, you can press your button and we can work out what
I can press my button.
Because there was no instructions with the C6 Pro, was there?
No.
Which was really quite strange. But in terms of both units, they're both pretty much the same sort of thickness. It's just that this one's got GPS actually in it at the top. It says GPS on the back of here,
Yeah.
so, but it doesn't on the other one. But they're
And with regards to how it's fitted, it's a RAM mount, isn't it? We found the actual thing that we
Yeah.
thought it was extra, so it's a
Yeah.
RAM mount ball socket thing.
So they feel really nice units, don't they, Mark?
I like them.
And the thing is, I think there's something for everybody out there, isn't there? It doesn't matter what you want to buy. If you want to spend £600-700, you could spend £700 on one. If you want to buy something from the Carplay, you can spend something like the Carplay and get a cheaper version. But at the moment, online, the C6 Pro is £176.90.
That one.
The one that you've been looking at, yeah. And the C9, because we have got the C9 Pro, the C9 Pro is £160, 75 pence.
Wow, when you compare the price of some of the other ones, that is phenomenal for what you get.
I know, that's insane, isn't it? That really is
Unbelievable.
really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we have also, so you take those 160, 170 quid into account. If you want to buy it through our affiliate link that will be down the bottom, you can have 22% off when they purchase on the Aoocci website. 22% of 180 quid.
That's phenomenal. That's it's nearly 30 quid off, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, when we were talking, they've said that the C6 Pro would be just $170 with your 22% discount. Obviously, we get a tiny little kickback, but it's not about that. It's about, the stuff that you want to buy that helps your bike feel like a 2025 version. The thing is, lots of motorbikes, especially Hondas, like the NC 500X and stuff like that, brilliant bikes.
Yeah.
But for me, what I've always said when we've reviewed them is what lets it down is the dashboard. It's very old school. It doesn't look modern. Well, if you want Apple CarPlay, you've got to spend a lot of money, and even people that have had Africa Twins that have it already built into the screen have said that it's very sporadic as to whether it works or whether it doesn't work. But now, for the simple fact of just having a mount onto your handlebars, feeding these wires through and connecting it to your battery or Hex EasyCan or whatever it is that you're using, connecting your phone, you've got every nav application or every application that works with CarPlay or Android Auto at your fingertips.
Of the two there, that looks the less complicated, doesn't it? There's less wires on it.
Well, there's less wires because you've got front camera, back camera, and then you've got your wiring harness. You've, on this one, got front camera, back camera, button, wiring harness. That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what they do both come with, the C6 Pro comes with 2 sets of extension cables. So if you've got, wherever you're mounting it, you might need an extension to get the back camera to the back of the bike.
Yep.
You got a couple there, and I've unwound it, but you only get one for the C9.
The front camera one looks like it's long enough anyway, doesn't it, to go anywhere?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Cool.
the thing is with these screens is when it's tipping down with rain, the raindrops will stop on there and they'll make things change. But in all the time I've been riding with Chigee and Garmin and all these other screens that I've had on the front of the bike, I've never once had the rain constantly changing the maps and changing things
never had
around.
that issue.
Never,
had that
ever.
issue.
But I did notice that on this one, there is a screen lock. So long press the recorder icon on the main interface for 3 seconds. The red lock screen icon will pop up. At this time, the interface cannot be touched. Click the red lock screen icon to turn green. Long press the home on the recorder interface for 3 seconds and the red unlock will pop up. At this time, the interface can be touched. So you can lock the screen, so that's good.
Ooh.
I don't like this hover button. That's the only thing. So I'm wondering whether there is a way of removing that hover button. And like on the one here, the hover button is this stupid little thing here. I don't know why they have it, but it enables you to go to all these settings and back home, but you've got a home there. It just makes no sense. I've never liked that sort of thing. I like cleanness, really. But this one certainly shows you more options from the screen. I've got to go through to settings to get to these, whereas you've got the quick setting buttons, haven't you, really? Mm-hmm. You can go straight into recorder and replay, straight into recorder and replay. But they've had to change that slightly by putting the settings there, haven't they, for this one, and make that a little bit bigger with the bar on the front and back. And you can change that as well. So you can change your upper and your lower limit, PSI and bar, Fahrenheit or Celsius, lower or high alarm, and they do work. Mm-hmm. When I had that blowout on Chigee, at 60 miles an hour, it told me that I had it, and instantly I slowed down. Know. Well, I didn't. It's funny enough, because it popped at the top of the hill, and I was doing 60, 65 down in a 70 zone, the inertia, I suppose, in my head, it's the right word, the inertia of the wheel being held up by all the physics and the forces applied.
Centrifugal force.
Yeah, that's it. Stayed up. And then when I came to slow down onto a straight, it went right down, and this was telling me all the way down the hill. Well, not all the way down the hill, but when it recognised it.
So happy with these then?
I think these units are really good. So that's our unboxing, side-by-side look at them. I think what we'll do next is in another video, it might be in a few weeks, but we'll rig them up on the bike, and we'll do a couple of videos just to show you how they behave. But they will behave in exactly the same way as the other ones.
I think so.
But for the price, it's really good. We'll put the links in the description. You get 22% off. I think we get a little bit of a kickback because they're affiliate links, but it's nothing major, and it helps us put more stuff into the channel. But I reckon thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up from both of us, I reckon. See how we get on, shall we?
See ya.
Right, see you in the next one.